Okay, my friends, as always, shocker du jour or your money back. That is Yellowstone. That is under the ground, radar penetrated, and I believe that is a creature's body, lungs, throat, and some extras up here and other organs. All of these are loaded with magma because that's what happens to organs when they're still completely saturated with biology and encapsulated in mud. That's what happened here. That's Yellowstone. Okay, my friends, the question is, will I ever run out of shocker du jours? And the answer is no. They will go on forever because we live in a completely, totally, 100% different universe than we did 15 years ago. Now, what am I looking at today? Will Yellowstone erupt soon? They're worried about the volcanic activity at this caldera out in Yellowstone. So what do? They want to map what's under the ground, see if they can find where this magma exists. They're expecting to find one gigantic pool of magma. So they have these devices that can, they're pretty sophisticated. Let me show you what they have to say about this, because they get in pretty deep here, and I mean deep. And when you see what this is, whoa, I didn't think I could be shocked any more than I am at this. It just keeps compounding. Every day is just more and more of the same and just better evidence, and it's still totally basically denied, or it just like hidden from. To me, as a scientist type person, my mind is distressed over this course of time. How could people just not take an interest in this? This is what kills me. Wait till I show you what I have to show you. This is going to blow your mind. And it supports exactly what I've been saying. There's nothing but biology. And Yellowstone area, that whole west out there, is a gigantic, monstrous creature. And under this caldera is literally the chest, including the lungs, the trachea, maybe even the tonsils. Okay, my friends, let's dig through this together. What are they talking about? And who is doing the talking? Well, this is Smithsonian Magazine. And they are doing the talking about Yellowstone. And what are they talking about? Well, will Yellowstone erupt? Is it going to explode? I mean, the thing is bubbling away for forever. No, scientists are using new techniques to find out. So what have they done? Using magnetotellurics, I'll explain that shortly, because that's all part of dipole electron flood theory as well. The researchers produce a detailed picture of the magma beneath Yellowstone, offering insights into a distant future of possible volcanic activity. So they, I believe, were expecting to see a vast magma chamber, semi-homogeneous, sort of just all the same magma laying around in there, just bubbling from here and there, poking up in different spots. But they did not find that. Okay, this is extreme shocker du jour. I'm going to read you their article. So, what did they find? They didn't find what they expected, trust me. This is the geyser area. Imperial Geyser, one of the many hydrothermal features that draw visitors to Yellowstone National Park. Is the whole thing going to explode? They have many of these things. Why is it all bubbling here and there? No. Each year, Yellowstone Park attracts millions of visitors eager to see its explosive geysers, steaming hot springs, bubbling mud pots. The famous natural landmarks result from the park's unique geology. It sits atop an active supervolcano, which has produced 3 large explosive eruptions in the last 2.1 million years. How do they know that? Let's go on from here. The most recent eruption in Yellowstone took place 70,000 years ago. How do they know that? When thick lava bubbled, I guess they mean, up to the surface and flowed across the landscape. The last major explosion occurred around 631,000 years ago on Thursday afternoon, cloudy, anyway, creating a massive crater known as the Yellowstone Caldera. This is all 100% guesses. And I have ways to date these things based on the Triassic era, which is the three layers, the red bed, the gray clay, the black cap. What this sits on, over, or under determines its age. And of that I am absolutely certain. Now, many curious onlookers have wondered whether and when Yellowstone might next erupt. So the scientists are using new techniques to help answer these questions. A new analysis published last week in the journal Nature suggests Yellowstone is unlikely to experience another big eruption, at least not anytime soon, because the magma lurking beneath its surface is split across a web of distinct chambers. Yes, it is. Due to the large total amount of magma present, Yellowstone will remain volcanically active forever, basically, but nowhere in Yellowstone do we have regions that are capable of eruption. That's what they're saying. It has a lot of magma, but the magma is not connected enough. Listen, wait till you see this. This just shocked me. I read all kinds of technical manuals and, latest scientific things, but I never expected to see this. Past research suggested a broad layer of magma just everywhere underneath Yellowstone, but the new findings contradict that. There are these segregated regions where magma is stored across Yellowstone. Instead of having one sort of large reservoir, Bennington adds to Fox Weather's Angeli Gabrielle. Look at what they found. Look at that. Is there a biologist in the house? Is there an anatomist in the house? Is there a doctor in the house? Those are two lungs connected to the throat, and this could be his ears or his, tonsils or something, I don't know. And this is some other little organs up in here that have turned into melt. They call it melt. They call this basaltic melt. So this they're saying is basalt, but it's liquid, it's magma. This other one is rhyolitic, which is the red, which is another type of material melted. So this organ, in my mind, lungs are basically full of blood and a lot of connective tissue, because it does that all the time. And they call that basalt. Maybe. In this case, rhyolitic melt, which is just, I'm not sure what organs these are, but it's, I'll have to look into chemistry of that. And then you got transition basaltic to rhyolitic. So this one here is half and half. And then you got hydrothermal system way up here is the bubbling up. If that's not lungs, I don't know what to say. Get a doctor, get anybody. This is insanity to just keep walking around in circles. And you look at the landscape here, it's absolutely stunningly large. The creatures were here. I mean, look at this. This is out in this area. This is just the layers. This is like some kind of basement layer of skin, I would think. And all of it's washed off and left the underlaying stuff that can pull this way and that way and come back to a nice flat skin. I'm not sure you could see that in the last shot, but this is nothing more than, it's some kind of tissue that covers the body. It could be inside of, wrapped around an organ. It's some kind of membrane or basement layer of skin, something like that. 100% biology, yeah, that there is no question. This stuff is all over the place out there out west. Look at that. That is not just accidental I don't know, they have so many ridiculous names for this because they can't, they call it pillow basalt. No, this is not pillow basalt. That's some kind of a membrane. And all this red stuff is not just red stuff. That's literally bloody tissue, and this is bloody blood. The geologists refuse to examine this because they cannot explain it. And the explanation is so overwhelming, it just bounces. All right, I think I probably covered enough for today. But as I show you, 100% of every single thing I'm showing you here, whatever's in space, whatever here is on Earth, all of the even mud and everything is just eroded blood. Now, this guy here did a fabulous video. Look at this. This is not what you think, but it's so more than what you think. I think if I'm right, this is just outrageous, but I think I'm right. Now, I will show you this in my next video, and I'm going to try to explain, because they always ask, how did this happen? Well, and I mean, this is crazy looking. It looks like a dragon's head, obviously, and it is not. Well, to me, it's not. Well, I'm sure of that. And I'll show you why I say that in my next video. So stay tuned, and I forget what he did a really good job. Nice guy, too. Hold on one second. All right, here's the guy, Topo Traveler. And here's where he is. And this, I know what I'm seeing here, and I'm pretty damn sure what I'm seeing is what I'm seeing. You see all these little bumps here? Those aren't plants. They're just little bumps. They're everywhere. They're everywhere. Now, these are the kind of things I would like to have him go up and look at what these things are up close and so forth. And I think I've seen enough in this video to know exactly well, I'm hoping. And I'm pretty sure where he was in that little pocket there with what looked like a dragon's head is something that I will explain in my next video, because again, it's over the top. So another chakra du jour coming up. All right, thank you. I love you all. Time we all pay attention to reality. It's a stunning world once you open your eyes wide enough to see what the world really is, and the universe. This is not just one thing here, one thing there. It's one thing.